walking into something with a confident, rhythmic background, it's just going to come out a little bit more sure of yourself, and you got more avenues to go with the rhythmic idea. Yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Al? Give us one.
Okay. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. Well, you know, a really basic thing. You know, I'm going to address the question to you because you said you're sort of just getting started, and this is great. You know, this opened up like a whole world for me. You know, do you know your simple minor pentatonic box at this point for like a blues solo?
Major pentatonic.
You know the major. The simple blues pentatonic one. This one you're playing. Okay, so that one. Right. So you can play over a simple 12 bar or anything. You know, any minor progression in that key. So you know. Watchtower or Rockin' in the Free World or something, any like really simple, like great kind of minor song that you could play until the cops come, your neighbors call. Those are great. So like if you take A minor for example, and you're playing one of those. Double stops, and by that I mean you can play two strings at the same time on almost anything, and the harmonies sound great, especially in the middle. It's like the Stones based almost their entire catalog on this stuff, so.
kind of go, does that make sense so far? Then you can start going, instead of going, it's the same form, you just go instead of 1, 2, 3, you're going 1, 3, 2. So then you can do string skipping and go. Sounds like classical. But it's the same exact thing, it's just 3 notes per string is how you gotta practice. Once you have the muscle memory, then you can do totally different things.
Just look at the grid, you kind of like, you memorize the grid and anything can happen.
Right. And then the one thing from that, then I learned that that's the same thing as A minor. So you can play a G major scale.
These are the doors that I'm talking about. And you realize, oh, like, yeah, I already know that shape. I can use this here. And then, you know, you can use the same scale in like 10 different songs, and, you know, nobody will really know or care. Except for you. You'll be up on stage, like, so excited about this because, you know, you got away with playing the same scale all night long.
It's almost like a good example is like a harmonica, like a blues harp player. They only have one key, and they can't really flip around with that one harp. It's universal in that one key, so it's like anything can happen. You know? It's all relative. At the end of the